Hello, so I'm Vanessa Marie. Thanks for checking out my channel. In today's vlog, basically, I just want to talk about, took some notes, what it's like working from home as a nurse, case manager, or care manager. Um, so, basically, I'm just going to give you guys some pros and cons. I'll be honest, my list for pros is much longer than cons, the cons list. However, I have to be real and let you know that at the moment, due to my personal situation, working from home is not ideal, only because it is a full-time position. Okay, so I'll probably go into it a little more later on. But at first, I just want to give you overall the pros and cons related to working from home, right? Okay, so first of all, for instance, we'll go over the pros first. No commute time, right? So no commute time means you're saving money on gas. You're saving time on in the morning, because you don't have to factor in commute time into getting ready and getting to work to be on time. You could sleep in if you want to, or you can use that commute time that you would have been using to get to work to do things that you want to do around the house or whatever it is. It's like freebie time, you know what I mean? Because we're not, if you never work from home, that's like great extra time that you now have to do what you want with it, right? So that's those are some of the pros. Another one is your breaks and lunches. You can use them wisely, right? So especially if you're a mom or a father, you can use your break time and your lunch time to basically get things done that you want to get done, so that when you get off of work, you don't have to worry about it, or you don't have to. You can just enjoy that, to do something that you enjoy doing for yourself. It's your choice what you want to do with your break time. I feel like it's more limited when you work at a hospital or a facility, or you work outside of your home, because there's only so much you can do, right, when you're at some other place. So that's another pro. Let's see here. A pro for me has been for sure saving money and eating more healthy foods, because I'm not surrounded by the cakes and the desserts and the pizzas that a lot of the nurses where I used to work in the hospital would be ordering, and then they're like, oh, do you want to order food too? And you just kind of get pulled into that. So you save money too, because you're not purchasing food on a daily basis that it's more expensive when you purchase food at a restaurant or even in the cafeteria of the hospital. So it's just more expensive. You save more money by just preparing your own meals at home, purchasing your meals, your food items at the grocery store, and making your own meals. You just save more money, and you're more likely than not to eat more healthy. So that's another pro. Let's see here. Another pro for me has for sure been, there are days when you just aren't feeling it. It's not like you're sick or anything. You just want to be bothered. You really would love to just take a day off. You didn't, whatever, you didn't get enough sleep, whatever the case may be. You just don't feel your best, right? So you don't have to worry about putting on makeup or doing your hair or an outfit or anything like that. You can just literally roll out of bed and be like, let me just get through this day, because I just got to get through it. And you don't have to worry about all the extra stuff that you would have to worry about still, if you had to leave your home to go to work, right? So that's another pro. But you got to be careful, because that can turn into a con. If you find yourself doing that all the time, that's not, it's not going to make you feel good. So yeah, there's going to be days like that, and you're going to be so grateful when you can just like roll out of bed and just say, you know what, let me just get through this day and call it a day, right? But you still should, try to still get out of bed, get dressed, put on some other clothes besides your pajamas, Get, brush your hair, brush your teeth, things like that, wash your face, because if you get in the habit of not doing those things and you just kind of like are just, rolling out of bed every day and just not doing much for, self-care, hygiene and all that, I think it could become depressing. So you have to be careful. It's a pro that could turn into a con. Okay, let's see here. You save money on clothes, uniforms. Like if you work in the hospital, you gotta buy uniforms, and you don't have to worry about that. You gotta buy sneakers, or shoes, whatever it is your title is. If you're a floor nurse or, bedside nurse, you have to purchase this clothing for work. You have to purchase work attire, whatever that work attire may be for you. You have to, yearly, but every 2 years, whatever it may be, purchase work attire, which you don't have to worry about when you work from home. Really, not as much, at least, So you're saving money there as well. Let's see here. You're saving money on gas. There's no commute, right? I think I mentioned that already. You save money on gas. And also maintenance. If you think about it, depending on how long you typically are commuting, you'll be saving money on your maintenance for your car. So that's another thing. Let's see here. Excuse me. Let's see here. So another one would be if you live where it snows. Oh my gosh. So I live in New York State, right? There were days where it would be like, are you kidding me? I have to go to work in this weather, like snow, full blown snowstorm, like where they would have warnings like, don't come out your house unless you literally have to. And as a nurse, as all my nurses know out there, the hospital is not shutting down. You got to get to work. Yeah, you don't have to worry about dealing with snowstorms and bad weather. And even if you don't live in a place where it snows, I hate when it's like pouring outside, just pouring down, right? And you have to go to work, or you get to your parking lot at the job, and then all of a sudden it starts pouring, and you don't even have your umbrella, and you're soaking wet. You don't gotta worry about that. Another pro. Let's see here. Another thing for me that is definitely a pro is that, especially with this whole COVID-19 situation, and even prior to that, I used to be worried about it. Being a mom with my, little ones in the house, bringing home potentially, dangerous diseases to my family. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to worry about, having to be exposed on a regular basis at work, right? Because every time you leave your house, you have a risk of being exposed to some potentially harmful, deadly disease, right? But when you work in a setting where that risk is that much higher, you get concerned. You have to take precautions, right? So don't worry about that. So that's another pro. So those are quite a few pros, if you ask me. I mean, yeah, quite a few pros, if you ask me. And my cons list is very short, okay, which is good. But so for my cons, I would definitely say lack of socialization. So if you're a person who really thrives off of, interacting with people, being around people, just, talking to people, just needing that on a daily basis to really feel good overall, because that's just the kind of person you are, then this might be a downer for you working from home, unless you have a great social life outside of work that at the end of the day doesn't even matter to you. I don't, but then again, I'm a loner too, so it's all good. So just be mindful of that. Be honest with who you are and what your priorities are in life. So, and most work from home jobs is for nurses are desk phone jobs. Like you're sitting in front of a desk, in front of a computer, the entire time on the phone. Okay. Unless you're like a utilization review nurse, I think there's less phone time. but I'm a care manager, case manager. And the reason why I say care case manager is because I work for an insurance company, and basically, the care managers are what this. It's the first place where I heard of the term care manager or the title care manager, and that because their care management is basically what I was used to hearing about in terms of case management. And basically, what I do is I am making sure that people in the community are safe in the community, um, and the people I take care of and manage are basically people who have chronic conditions, who are sick, and they need extra help in the community in order to stay safe in the community. So we provide them with services, durable medical equipment, making sure they have these accessible to them if they need them. Um, and we're also really like social workers a lot of the time. So a lot of our members have financial issues, social issues, and things like that. And we need to just help them access resources in the community, kind of guide them. And yeah, that's basically what I do. And we manage, we have a caseload. So right now, like my caseload is 112. So I'm responsible for 112 members, patients, and making sure that they continue to be safe in the community, and just assessing their needs in terms of resources, services that they could benefit from in order to be safe in the community. Okay, so that's basically what I do all day long. And so that requires a lot of phone time, a lot of talking, because you create care plans. Care plans are a huge thing with this. Is basically talking to the members and creating an individualized care plan for them, patient-centered care plan for the most part, so that we can assess their needs and provide and take care of those needs, right? So the phone time can be very cumbersome. Is that, yeah, cumbersome. But it can be stressful. It's tedious, because I mean, sometimes you can be on the phone with one person. With me, it has happened for 2 hours, and then you have to create this care plan document. It's the documentation afterwards. Like, you create the care plan, but now you have to document everything, and it can be extensive. And so, like, yeah. So just be mindful of that, and that's my major con is being at a desk on a phone all day long. Where before that, I was, I honestly can say I appreciated the social interaction with both with my colleagues and my patients. And even though there was days where you don't want to deal with neither, depending on the situation, the people you work with, blah blah blah, right? So but it can make the day go by, like, feel like it's taking forever, because when you're on the phone, you're documenting phone, it just kind of, it's exhausting a little bit. I'll be honest with you, because there were days when I come home from work. I was a postpartum nurse prior to case management. I was a postpartum nurse, and then I went to case management, but I was still at the hospital. And so I was still, moving around, walking and things like that. And that lack of physical activity, I gotta say, has been getting the best of me. Okay, so if you're not a person that likes to sit down all day and be on the phone, then be mindful of that. If you're considering this, doing a work from home nursing job, okay? And the last con I can think of right now is the fact that you feel like you're being monitored. Like, you're being monitored when you work from home. You are literally being monitored the entire time, because they're monitoring how much time you're on the phone. They're monitoring how often you're active on the computer. Like, if there's like times where you haven't been typing or moving your mouse and things like that, it'll show inactive. Like, and it's like they utilize that to gauge how efficient you are at work, how much productivity you're doing, things like that. And so that, just the thought of like, I do my job, like when I'm working I do my job, but I have to say the idea, the thought that I know that they're watching every little step I take, every move I make, is annoying. You know, because when I worked at the hospital I didn't have, it's like having a supervisor over you the entire time. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's watching you. um, but when you worked in the hospital, when I worked in the hospital, there were times where I worked most of the time evenings when I worked postpartum, and there were times where we didn't have any kind of, you know, management around or anything like that, and we would get our job done, but then we would have time to just chill and you know, converse and hang out a little bit here and there and joke around, you know what I mean, without feeling like you're being watched. So it's like that, I miss that freedom, of that feeling of freedom, right? So be mindful of that as well. I mean, that's how it is with my position. I work for an insurance company, so I don't know. I mean, I can't speak to every work from home nursing position in terms of how they monitor, you know, employees and stuff like that. But that's how more, I'm assuming it would be like for most work from home positions. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, those are my pros and cons in general. Now, really quickly, I want to just mention how, the reason why my work from home position at the moment is really not working out for me is because I am pregnant. I'm 27 weeks pregnant. I have a 1 year old, I have a 3 year old, and I'm a single mother, okay? And prior to this work from home position, which it'll be a year in October, I worked part time, and so being a mother, and I really, one of my, you know, desires in life is to really be involved with my children, raise them, um, you know, be super interactive with them. And that has been a huge challenge for me, switching to full time. So it's not really that it's work from home, but it's the full time hours that, is getting the best of me in this position. Because, like I said, you may be home sitting down at a desk on the phone all day, but when you're done, I work 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. 5 p.m. comes, you're tired, you're mentally exhausted, and you are physically a little tired too, somehow, some way. I don't know if I'm pregnant, but just sitting there, it's just, that's not normal to be sitting there all day. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when I would get out of work, working at the hospital, where I would be, you know, as a floor nurse, more so than because even case management, like that was a little, I don't know, maybe I'm just not a case management person. Okay, but yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah, when I worked from as a bedside nurse and you're moving around, you're physically active. Yeah, you'll have days where you're just exhausted, but there were a lot of days where I would leave my job not feeling that way, where I felt, you know, I still had energy. I was still ready to do something. Like, I felt like I could still get stuff done, do things, look forward to getting out of work and doing things, versus getting off at 5 p.m., 8:30 to 5. And the thought of having to do stuff after work right now is just exhausting. So, you know, just think about it. Um, Overall, with your, you know, depending on your situation, your personal experiences, um, um, you know what I mean, your personal situation, just think about what is going to work best for you in order to, make that decision. Because, yeah, there's, even though my pros list is very long, the cons list is short. If these cons are very important cons, do you know what I mean? Like, are you willing to give up socialization? Are you willing to give up the physical mobility and freedom that you have working at a hospital, for, you know, commute time, or, you know, being able to make your being able to easily, you know, eat more healthy, which you could do that. It just takes more time and effort if you worked outside of your home. It's just, things are just a little more easier. You know what I mean? The things, little things like that. So just think about it. And yeah, I hope you get something out of this video. I hope if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. If there was something I didn't really explain in detail that you would like more information on, please let me know. I might just respond, or I could just create a video on it, depending on, you know, how extensive the question is. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody. All right, take care. Bye.